The Virgin Mary in the Kingdom. Day 16. The Virgin Mary in the Temple forms the new day that unleashes on earth the refulgent sun of the divine word. The soul to its heavenly mother. Most sweet mother, I believe that you have stolen my heart, and I run to you. Keep my heart within yours as a pledge of my love, and as a pledge of your motherly love, exchange my heart with the divine will. Therefore, as your child, I come into your arms so that you may prepare me, impart to me your lessons, and do with me as you see fit. I ask you never to leave your child alone, but to keep me always, always together with you.
Lesson of the Queen of Heaven. My dearest child, oh, how I long to keep you always united to me. I long to be your heartbeat, your breath, the works of your hands and the steps of your feet, to let you feel, through me, how the divine will operated in me. I long to pour its life into you. Oh, how sweet, beloved, enchanting and enrapturing it is. My child, if I had you under the total dominion of that divine fiat that established my happiness, my glory, and my entire fortune, oh, how you would redouble my happiness. Now, listen closely to what I, your tender mother, wish to say to you, as I desire to share with you my fortune. I continued my life in the temple, and heaven was not distant to me. I could transport myself there anytime I desired. I had free access to ascend to heaven and descend to earth. In heaven I had my divine family, and I yearned and sighed to be with them. The divinity itself, the three divine persons, awaited me with great love in order to speak to me, to be happy and to make me happier, more beautiful and dearer in their eyes. For they had not created me to keep me at a distance, not at all. They wanted to take pleasure in me as their daughter. They wanted to hear me speak, to hear how my words animated by their fiat had the power to create peace between God and all creation. They loved to be won over by their little daughter, and to hear me repeat to them, "Descend. May the divine word descend to earth." I can say that the divinity itself called me, and I ran, I flew to them. Since I had never done my own will, my presence requited them for the love and glory of the great work of all creation, whereby they confided to me the secret of the history of mankind. And I prayed and prayed for peace to come between God and man. Now, my child, only the human will closed off heaven and deprived it of the right to have access to penetrate into those heavenly regions, or to have familiar relations with its creator. On the contrary, the human will had cast the soul away from the one who had created it. At the moment man withdrew from the divine will, he became fearful, timid, and lost dominion over himself and over all creation. All the elements that were dominated by the fiat became superior to him and could now harm him. Man was afraid of everything. And do you think it is a small thing, my child, that the one who had been created king to exercise dominion over all things reached the point of being afraid of the one who had created him? My child, it is strange, and I would say almost against nature, that a son should be afraid of his father. For it is only natural that, when a father generates, he also generates love and trust between himself and his son. Such love and trust can be called the prime inheritance, which is the rightful claim of the child, and the prime right that all souls owe the father. Therefore, Adam, by doing his own will, lost the inheritance of his father, he lost his kingdom, and became the laughing-stock of all created things. Now, my child, listen closely to your tender mother, and ponder well the great evil of the human will. It removes from the soul its vision and blinds it in such a way that everything to it turns into darkness and fear. Therefore, place your hand upon your heart and vow to your mother that you would rather die than do your own will. In never doing my own will, I had no fear of my Creator. How could I be afraid of him who loved me so much? So much did his kingdom extend within me, that with my axe I formed the full day that would allow the new sun of the eternal word to cast its light on earth. And as I saw that this day was being formed, I increased my pleas to obtain the longed-for day of peace between heaven and earth. Tomorrow, I will wait for you to tell you yet another surprise pertaining to my life on earth.
The soul. My sovereign mother, how sweet your lessons are! Oh, how they make me understand the great evil of my human will! How many times I felt well up in me fear and lack of resolve, and I felt as though distant from my Creator. It was my human will that reigned in me, not the divine will. Thus I felt its sad effects. If you love me as your child, take my heart into your hands and remove from me the fear and the lack of resolve that prevent my flight to my Creator. In place of these, infuse in me that fiat which you love so much and desire to reign in my soul.
Aspiration. Today, to honor me, place into my hands everything that causes you bother, fear, and distrust so that I may convert them into the will of God. I wish you to do this while saying to me 3 times, "My dear mother, may the divine will reign in my soul."
Exclamation. My mother in whom I trust, may you form the day of the divine will in my soul.